Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for mid-September 2024. We're going to jump right in here. You have this challenges card and this creating and writing card. A lot of creative energy, and you start with the Empress as well. So, you're the last reading I'm doing in this set of readings, and pretty much everyone has had something about creation, or has had a lot of cards of creation. So I would be tapping into that energy. Clearly it's a collective energy, and we can take advantage of these great collective energies. I mean, you have the Ten of Pentacles here. So if you're working on any creative projects or creative ideas, they could lead to a ton of abundance, success, making your life easier. Sometimes I feel that the Empress is really talking about making your life easier. She is, the whole point of the Empress is that she doesn't really have to struggle to grow that wheat in front of her. All she has to do is wave this scepter and the wheat in front of her will grow. So she isn't, she isn't like struggling to get things to grow in her life. And, I think that this reading is encouraging you to tap into the Empress energy and to do that, right? You do have that challenges card. I feel like the challenge for you is clearly the Nine of Swords. It's actually the only bad card in your reading. I do consider the Nine of Swords to be the worst card in the tarot, mostly because of what it represents, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the Empress is about you being very attractive at this time as well. It doesn't matter what gender you are. You could be attracting, people into your life as well. You have the Two of Cups, you have the Page of Cups, the King of Cups. It seems to be a great time for love. So again, if you want love, I would definitely put yourself out there. You have the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is about conviction. It says when you know that something is going to work for you, that's when it will truly work for you. So the Seven of Wands is about your beliefs, about your belief system, and it's about believing things on a very deep level. So the more that you believe that something will be successful, the more likely it is to be successful. And that's kind of what I feel for the Seven of Wands. I also feel like some of you are about to do something that you don't quite feel ready to do yet, but you're probably going to do it anyway. He has on these two different shoes, or a boot and a shoe on his foot here. And I always say that sometimes I feel the Seven of Wands can represent being forced into something that you don't feel ready to do. And I don't mean like nothing is forcing you to do anything, but it's like sometimes we get laid off from a job or we get fired from a job, which we've been talking about for like the last month with you. And so it's like we're not ready for the change, but we kind of have to make the change. And I feel that energy still in your readings, that some of you have had to make a change that you weren't ready for. But you have the Empress, you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is amazing. Ten of Pentacles is total abundance. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. I'm pretty sure you're only like the one of two people that have had the Ten of Pentacles in this set of readings, which is great. Ten of Pentacles is building, leaving a legacy. It is building something that's, building a life worth living. And I kind of feel that for you, Sagittarius, is that really, I don't think the focus is just like on money, for example. I think that what you are focused on is building a life worth living, and, it's going to be good for you. With the Empress, you have the Ten of Swords. So we have the challenge, and, something has definitely come to an end. We've talked about this with the Seven of Wands. We've talked about it in the past two readings that I did for you as well. And so there's no doubt about it that something has come to an end. The good news is that he is making this symbol right here with his hands. And that symbol is the same symbol the Hierophant is making, and it represents a blessing. So I do feel that if you've gone through any changes, that really it's probably a blessing in disguise that these changes have happened to you. So again, the Ten of Swords always reminds me that, yes, you might have gone through a difficult ending or something has ended, but really it's leading you towards a blessing. And like I said, I think we've basically said this the past three readings, at least. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a card of celebration, card of friendship, community, things like that. And with the Seven of Wands, we can close ourselves off. So the Three of Cups says it's time to open up to other people, or it's time to open up to people in general, especially if you're looking for help, assistance, or guidance. The Seven of Wands says, with the Three of Cups, says don't be too closed off. Make sure you're opening up to the help of other people, because people want to help you. That's it. So that's all I feel there. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Pentacles again. So this is amazing. Ten of Pentacles, like I said, everything you want and desire, and you have it twice, which is amazing. It's basically the universe saying I meant what I said. I have noticed a lot of repeating cards in this set of readings as well. It doesn't happen that often, but over the past like 3 months or so, I've been getting these sets of readings where pretty much every single sign has repeating cards, which is pretty unusual. You would think it would be pretty common because I do use a lot of cards in the spread, but really it's not that common that I get so many repeating cards. And so the repeating cards to me are just confirmation from the universe that you're kind of going in the right direction in your life. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this reframe card and you have this empathy card. So the reframe card says that it might be a good time to reframe things in your mind. Like instead of thinking negatively about something, how can you turn it into a positive? And I think that would be a good thing for you. The empathy card, I feel like there are a lot of people who do have like empathy for your situation and want to help you. So like I said, I would allow people to help guide you or to help get answers from. You have the Nine of Swords, Two of Cups, and the Magician. The Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. I'm just hearing that you feel that things are always going to be this way, and that's not true. So I feel that the Nine of Swords is saying, like, don't think that you're stuck. Don't think that you're stuck in your situation. The Nine of Swords actually says you've learned a lot. He has this blanket right here, and the blanket is meant to be something that is giving him comfort. There are all these astrological symbols all over the blanket in the blue squares here. And the astrological symbols kind of represent the transits, the astrological experiences he's had in his life. And so he's learned a lot through these experiences. And the blanket should give you comfort in whatever time you're in right now, because it's basically saying you've learned a lot from these things and now you can move forward. So it's encouraging you to move forward. You have the Two of Cups. You go up to the Page of Cups as well, so it wouldn't surprise me if some of you are attracting a new person into your life. Two of Cups is meant to be a person who is different than your usual type. So again, you could be attracting like a different type of person. Usually with the Two of Cups, we also start with communication. So again, you might start communicating with a person and then you actually meet them, or you go out with them, and again, I think this is pretty common nowadays. Like you meet a person on an app or whatever, and then you start talking to them and then you go on a date. So again, some of you that's pretty much all I feel here with this card as far as love is concerned. On a personal level, Two of Cups is you and your higher self. So it might be a really good time for you to tap into your higher self, whatever you do, meditate, pray, whatever it is for you, I would do something. You have the Magician, and the Magician says you're attracting things into your life at this time. He uses his powers of manifestation to attract whatever he wants, and he also focuses on the right stuff. He has these flowers in front of him here, and the flowers that he is focusing on kind of represent the fact that to manifest, you have to be focused in the right direction as well. And so you have that reframe card, and I feel that if you're stuck in the Nine of Swords, it's going to be hard to manifest yourself out of that position. So I would start doing things that make you feel more positive, or start doing things that bring more light, joy, happiness, love into your life. And if you do that, you will attract better things into your life. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Judgment card. It's like you are meant to change at this time. I kind of feel that's what this is saying. These people are standing in these coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. And so I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of like you were meant to change at this time. You're meant to go through a rebirth, and I just feel like you are going through a rebirth. That's it. You even have the Magician here, and the Magician is a card of reinvention. So it's like you are meant to reinvent yourself at this time, or you're meant to make a change. With the Two of Cups, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is a little bit slow. He is sometimes too cautious, or he is overthinking the actions he needs to take. In love, this could be a person who's moving slowly. I don't really feel this is a bad thing. And the funny thing is that I think this came up for Libra, and you have Libra right here. So you definitely could be attracting a Libra into your life, or it could be a person who has a lot of Libra in their chart. But, again, it starts a little bit slow. I also feel that you are, it's kind of like you're sitting on a golden egg here, Sagittarius. Sorry, I'm just dropping cards. But, he has these empty fields behind him. And all he has to do is plant seeds in that field and they will grow. And you have the Ten of Pentacles here. So I kind of feel like you are sitting on something that could be very profitable or, very abundant for you, but you have to get moving. So the Knight of Pentacles is saying if you've been thinking about taking action on anything, I would definitely do it. With the Magician, you have the Lovers. Definitely, for those of you that want love, I feel like you're attracting love into your life for sure. It's a good time for love. Almost every single reading that I've done, again, for this set of readings, had really good love stuff in it. So, clearly it's just a good time for love, which I do feel is true, especially until like the middle of October-ish, somewhere around there. We have none of the personal planets going retrograde until then, and basically after October 11th or something like that. And so, it's kind of like clear energy, and I feel it would be a good time to find love now if you want it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Mermaid. It says femininity, allure, and charm. You have this Cougar. It says motherhood, sensuality, and reverence. So two kind of like feminine energies coming up here. I feel like that creative energy, that feminine creative energy would be a good energy for you to work with this month. You could be creating projects, you could be working on creative projects, or you could just be creating a new life. And I feel like tapping into, your creative energy. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. We're just talking about the energy that you are going to be using. Coming from that place will be the thing that probably makes you more successful. And again, some of you could be mothers. You have the Empress and that motherhood card. You have the Page of Cups, Justice, and the Eight of Cups. The Page of Cups is, could be an admirer. So if you want love, definitely could be a new person who's coming in for you. I always say that the Page of Cups, he has a dream. He has this fish in this cup, and we don't actually know if that fish is real or if it's part of his imagination. But I think the trick with the Page of Cups is to grab onto that fish and make sure it doesn't hop out into the water that is behind you. So, again, it looks to me like you have a very fertile dream going this way. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles with the empty, fertile fields behind him, and then the Page of Cups. All that together says to me that you should be planting seeds in towards whatever you're thinking about creating, right? Because I think it's a very fertile time for you, and I would take advantage of that. You have the Justice card. I think we just have to let justice be our guide. Justice is cause and effect. If we're working on something, if we put energy in, do we get energy out? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, stop and make a change. With justice, all we have to do is pay attention to cause and effect, and that's exactly what I would do with this card. You have the Judgment card with the Justice card. So if you are dealing with something legal, this could be justice, or this could be you getting, making some progress in a legal case. So if you're dealing with something legal, it might, this doesn't really say that it's coming to an end, but you might be getting some answers, or, it might be moving to the next phase, or, whatever you want to call it. You have the Eight of Cups. Literally every single sign has had the Eight of Cups. It always cracks me up. Every single time we have an eclipse, which we do on the 17th, this card shows up. And the Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it, right here. So, I think this is just talking about the eclipse energy. I think a lot of people are going to be walking away from things that no longer serve them during this eclipse, especially emotionally. You have the Page of Cups and the King of Cups. The eclipse is happening in Pisces. It's really an emotional eclipse that we are having, and a lot of us could be tapping into our emotions and looking at the things that no longer serve us emotionally or that cause negative emotions, and those are the things that we're probably walking away from, or those are the things that we're transforming. I always like to remind people, I think too many people focus on the cutting things out, which there's nothing, if something is toxic or bad or hurting your emotions, there's nothing wrong with cutting it out. But also sometimes we can just work with the energy. We can transmute it with the Magician, turn it into something else, and we can make it better. So again, you don't necessarily have to walk away. With the Page of Cups, you have the Hermit. You have the Hermit twice again, so another repeating card. And the Hermit, this could be a hermit type person. It could be a homebody that you're attracting, or, it could be a person who has been in hermit mode and now they're coming out of hermit mode. So if you want love, this could be a person who's kind of stepping into the light. Having said that, you have, with the Justice card, you have the Star. So again, the Hermit has the star in his lantern. He needs to shine that star out all over the place. I'm going to show you on the big version, just because it's easier to see. But he has a star right there. And I always say that the Hermit has climbed to the top of a mountain. He's been through a dark night of the soul. He's done some soul searching, and now he's standing at the top of the mountain. But sometimes the Hermit, sometimes I feel like he wants to stay at the top of the mountain. If you've been hurt by the world, it's like when you find your escape, you're just like, oh, I'm going to stay here and protect myself instead of getting back out into the world. But I personally, and this is a personal thing, not a tarot thing, right? I personally feel that the hermit needs to come down from the mountain and he needs to shine his inner light. He needs to shine his star out all over the place. So again, a lot of you, it's like maybe you've been hurt or something has happened here clearly based off your past readings. And now it's time for you to like shine your inner light or to share things with the world. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, Knight in Shining Armor. So if you want love, definitely very good love reading here. Could also be a Virgo. Virgo, Aquarius, and Libra really stand out to me. But again, it could be any sign, general reading. And the Ten of Pentacles is the best love card in the deck. So Ten of Pentacles is kind of like everything you want and desire in your life. And, again, it looks really good to me. You have this cat spirit, it says claim your independence. You have this koi fish spirit, it says there's always enough. So we were talking about fertility, and I feel like there is a fertile opportunity for you to get to work on, a dream or whatever your star is. I like to remind people as well that the star is your North Star. It is your guiding light. And so a lot of you could be working on something that's more inspirational or something that's more personal to you. You have the Five of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Hermit. The Five of Swords is about taking a risk in the good stuff. So again, this is showing up in the good stuff, and in the good stuff with the Five of Swords, we have to take some sort of risk, and the risk could be, the risk really is you shining your light. So, again, you might have things that you want to shine to the world or things that you want to expose to the world, and now would be the time. You have the King of Cups. King of Cups, of course, is all about your emotions. I do feel this could be an emotionally stable person, but intuitively, I kind of feel like this is you. He is sitting in the middle of the ocean, and he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. And again, I think that you have been maybe pushed to explore your emotions over the past few months or explore how you really feel about the things that are going on in your life. And the good news is it's coming up in the good stuff. And so I would say the changes you're making are to create a better emotional space for yourself. And again, that would obviously be a good thing. You have the Hermit. Again, I feel good that the Hermit is showing up in the good stuff because it would say that you're not staying stuck in Hermit mode. It would say that you have learned a lot. He's learned a lot. He's gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom on his journey. But like I said, I think the best thing we can do with Hermit energy is be an inspiration for other people. And then you have the Star here. And so the Star is all about being an inspiration, which is literally probably the best, most spiritual thing you could do right now is, be an inspiration for other people. So if you've gone through difficult times or if you have experienced something difficult, you could be shining your light to help people. With the Five of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick movement, quick change. And like I said at the beginning, if you've experienced a loss or if you've been struggling at this time, I feel a lot of you could be not struggling in the very near future. Eight of Wands is quick success. With the King of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands, more inspiration. The Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new, but it's also a card of following your inspirations. You also have the Magician, and sometimes I feel for the Magician to manifest, all he has to do is follow his, where he is feeling inspired, and that's where he will gain the most success. With the Hermit, you have the Eight of Swords. Yes, it's like you were stuck, but coming up in the good stuff, this would say that you're getting unstuck and you are getting out into the world, or, you are shining your light out into the world, which would be a good thing. You have this Escape card. Again, I feel pretty good about this. You have that Eight of Swords, which is self-imposed restriction, and the Escape card would say that you are removing the restrictions from your life, which is a good thing. You have this Flattery card. I like this card. These two faces are facing away from each other. These two faces are seeing eye to eye. And so you could be attracting a new person that you really see eye to eye with, or a person that you really resonate with. So definitely could be attracting a new person. You have this Extremism card. We're in a time of extremism. I would be careful of extreme ideas or, people rushing into your life telling you something that isn't true. Like this guy is trying to force her to read this thing right here. And What I would say is that by the time we get to the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, we're going to have Neptune moving into Aries. Neptune in Aries is extreme ideas. And I keep telling people, like, if people are like trying to force you to believe something, don't. Plain and simple. And even though we're not there yet, we're getting closer and closer. So, definitely something to pay attention to. You have this restlessness card. If you are feeling restless, I feel like you need to channel that energy into the star. Your star is your North Star. It is whatever you want to manifest, your dream, right? And so I feel a lot of you need to channel that energy. And finally here, let's see if we can get a card. You have this resistance card. Everybody's had this card as well. And so I think there are plenty of reasons not to do something, but even if there's just one good reason that you should do something in your life or with your life, I would do it. And I would push through the resistance. Also, again, understand that we are in a time of resistance. It's like anything we want to do, we're probably going to have to work it and rework it and work it and rework it again. But if you push through that resistance, you'll be very, very successful after. So that's what I'd say there. But this looks pretty good here, Sag. I think things are improving. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.